Once again, it is time for another palette rotation. Yes, where I take some old palettes, I take some new palettes, and I show you how I use them on an everyday basis. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So, like I just mentioned, it is time for another palette rotation video. So this is my third one. Yes, third one. So the last one was all on Pat McGrath palettes, and the first one was just kind of like all different palettes. Same with this one, but let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're Oden but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy. I love makeup. That's how you get Dr. Ash in her makeup. And eyeshadow really is my jam. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. So like I mentioned before, palette rotation, okay? So I came up with this idea because I truly love to rotate my palettes. And on here, it always seems like I'm talking about new palettes, but I truly do go back and use my palettes from that were recently released to the ones that's been a couple years old. And I do a good job of rotating through my collection. So I wanted to show you guys. So the palette rotation is a little bit informal. It's me kind of usually at my vanity doing my makeup. My vanity is actually here. I put the camera here. You see the eyes. I'm getting ready for the day. A lot of times I'm going to work or doing whatever I need to do. And then I'm going to come back and talk about the palettes. So I like doing this style of video. Like I said, they're old palettes. Some palettes have just released, so you can see how I'm still using them after I go ahead and do my review. So it's a lot of different things. So let me just talk about the palettes that I'm going to be using today, and then I'll give you a few kind of final thoughts at the end. So the palettes that are in this palette rotation are this one right here. This is the Heathland palette by the Glam shop, and I have a beautiful look on this one. This one is actually a little bit more jazzed up, and this is a beautiful purple palette by the Glam shop with that beautiful hollow shade in the middle. My second look was with the Nomad Cosmetics Fire and Ice palette. So this is the Iceland palette, and this palette actually came out in January of last year, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. So this is the color story of this one. For our third look, I took it to Oden's Eye, and I pulled out the Norn's palette. So I actually only used this maybe once before, and I've kind of used my Erd palette more, but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous color story. And you have some beautiful shimmers down below at the bottom. Our fourth look is one of my newest palettes to my collection, and it's the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. And I did do 5 looks with this particular palette previously, and this is the color story. Now this palette was actually gifted to me by Blend Bunny Cosmetics, but I was going to definitely buy it with my own money. So this is the palette here. And then for our final look, which I'm wearing right now, is the Kaleidos Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green. And this is a gorgeous monochromatic palette as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the looks. Alright guys, so I'm back. This is the final look with the Futurism Sci-Fi green palette. So, I don't know if I remember this, or maybe I don't know, but what I do know for certain is that Kaleidos mattes have gotten better. So they weren't bad, but this particular matte right here, the first green shade, which was technically the lighter of the green shades, it kind of disappeared right here. So when I was showing you, like right here, it kind of looked like the color had just really faded away. So that was disappointing. And then once my memory kind of serves me correctly about using this palette, these two shimmers were awfully alike, because you remember I put both of the shimmers on my eye. It looked like one color. So I think when I kind of turn my head, you can kind of see that there is a difference. The shimmers are really nice. The color scheme is gorgeous. It's just my original complaints when it comes to this particular palette, or the first set of Futurism palettes, that the two matte shades are just too close in color story, like too close in color or hue or tone. Like, you know, you could tell that this one's deeper, but in the grand schemes of it, doesn't really matter. And then this one is more olive and this one's more yellow gold, but when you layer them together, it looks like the same shade. So I don't know, this palette, it didn't impress me as much. I still really like Kaleidos, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to use it again. The black was cool. It kind of, that green was blowing me. I was like, it's really fading away. So the darker green of the two was actually definitely the better green. But I would have to say I probably have better green palettes that have come out after this particular palette. It's just, yeah, the mattes are too close in hue to each other, and I just don't remember it fading like that, because I'm still looking like, yeah, there's like no shadow right there. Eek. Yeah, that could be an issue, and I don't think it's the primer. I did use my Glam Shop honey cake primer. Well, the color is kind of called honey cake, but I mean, I've been using it for like the past 2 weeks and I haven't had an issue. So very interesting. So this look is cute. Just cute. It's not giving me all the feels, okay? So, but this look, I love this look with the Dollhouse palette. I've been having a lot of fun playing with this palette. You get so many different looks with this palette. I mean, it's just like the color combos are just so, like, so many, so versatile. And I always end up with kind of like a deep look, even though sometimes I'm not going for a deep look, but I just enjoyed this particular shade so much. It is just really gorgeous. It's so different in terms of purple. You have beautiful mattes. This is one of my favorite shades in the palette right here. So I just have no complaints about this palette. So I just definitely wanted to come back on camera, show it again, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful neutral palette without being boringly neutral. You get a lot of different colors with this particular palette. So I really, really appreciate that. Now, the Norn's palette, that look, it was so funny because I was actually going to work and I looked like a disco ball. I didn't even care. I went in with the shade, oh, I guess I do see that now it's called Colorful Black. I don't know what color shade I thought it was at whatever time in the morning at 7:30, but once I packed it on, I was like, oh, that's black. Okay. This got dark really, really quickly, but you know what? It's all good, and the look was gorgeous. You know, these particular shades down here are just so reflective, so beautiful. They don't necessarily have like a whole lot of base to them, but the shine, the shimmer impact is so impactful when you wear it. Like, you can't help to love it. I mean, it's just like little reflects all across your eyes. It looks wet, it's shiny. It does have a base. You can put it over other things to make it more impactful. Just really, really gorgeous palette. And I was really excited to play with this again because I hadn't shown it any love in a while. And even with the Nomad Fire and Ice, I was going to work too with all that blue eyeshadow on, and I did not care. Sometimes I start off with a vision. I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this. And then it just kind of goes, whoo, all right. So, it's like we're committed to the blues, but I mean, this palette is gorgeous and it has such an ethereal look to it, and especially with these shades right in here, and I just really appreciate the different tones of blues. So that really just excites me. So I had a lot of fun dipping into this palette again. And like you can definitely get neutral looks just kind of down the middle right here and using that without going into the blues and just kind of sticking with some of the grungier greens and some of the more muted shades like that. But this palette is just so gorgeous, so stunning. So I definitely wanted to make sure I was playing with this palette and hadn't forgotten about it. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this particular palette rotation. Let me know what palettes you have down below and have you been playing with them. The one it was just disappointing was this one. I don't know. I just finished this look and I'm like, I don't have shadow right. And it can catch here, but I'm like, oh, Not sure what's happening here, so I guess. So let me know down below what looks you enjoy best from this palette rotation, and maybe let me know like what palettes you might want to see next in the palette rotation. So give this video a big thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be very, very soon. Subscribe to this channel because you know I would love to have you here in this little makeup family. And with all of that being said, I was about to skip to the chair dance, but please subscribe to this channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And now, you already know how we end the videos around here. We gotta hit it with the chair dance. Hey, chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.